Maybe. Hello, and welcome to the party. Hopefully, folks can actually hear me, and if not, I'm sure chat will let me know. Welcome to the party. Welcome to Side Quests, where we are playing something a little bit different than what might have been teased last week. We are playing Senate and Sabers, which is a lasers and feelings hack based in the Star Wars universe, keeping with our delightful May is Star Wars month theme. Before we jump into the game, just a couple of quick things to go over. First, a huge thank you to all of our wonderful sponsors. Our first one is Tabletop Loot. They are our amazing dice sponsor and provider of fine dice for all your gaming needs. Head on over to www.tabletoploot and use the code WTTPDICE to get 15% off your next purchase. Next, Maddie and his amazing merch shop are the sole provider of Welcome to the Party merch, including some fantastic hoodies that I absolutely adore and are so super snuggly. That's not in the copy, it's just true. So please head over to www.sonerdwear.com and use the code WELCOME at checkout to get 10% off your next purchase. So Nerdwear, it's what the nerds wear. I'm a nerd and I wear it, it's true. Also, Welcome to the Party is proudly sponsored by Roll20, the virtual tabletop that runs straight out of your web browser. Everything you need to play with your friends is ready at the click of a mouse, from click-to-roll character sheets to built-in video and voice chat. You can even upload your own maps and tokens. Get all of that and more with a free basic account on roll20.net. Sign up on roll20.net/start/WTTP. And we are proudly supported by Devin Roode, who has provided us huge support since the very beginning, since we launched. For some of the best cartographical content on the web, please visit rouinc.com. Her maps are incredible. And we also would like to shout out our Patreon. So our Patreon not only supports the channel, but it supports the people who support it. Your generosity allows us to keep working on our mission to platform amazing Lbgtq plus and BIMPOC players and creators. So check us out at patreon.com/welcomepartyrpg. And as always, check us out on our amazing Discord. We will be shoving those details in the chat in just a moment. But first, we will go around and I will have my beautiful players introduce themselves and their characters, starting with Michelle.
I'm laughing because Angela does the interpretive dance of our sponsors, which I love dearly because I love Angela so much. Okay. All right. Whew. I'm Michelle. I'm playing Ninja Vorlero. I'm a Padawan. I've survived, and yeah, I'm ready to play this. This is going to be fun. Yes.
And Glim.
Hi, I'm Glim. I also love the interpretive dancing. And I am playing Mira, which is a mechanical intelligence realistic android. I know that was a lot of words. I tried to say them so that the captions could get them. But yeah, also who wears a cat hat and runs around at a lovely 4'11".
Yes. Small and kick-ass is kind of my RPG type. Angela.
All we need is for Glim to be some variation of mechanical goblin, and we found Ulfrig in another dimension.
Yep, 100%. Yep. In the Star Wars universe, I would be a Jawa.
Hello there, everybody. I'm Angela. For those of you who didn't already see me earlier today on the Ryutama game, I'm here playing, let me pull up a quick description, an intellectual medic, essentially a street sort of medic style individual, force sensitive and such, who is going to be here trying to essentially work to, I basically, you can just imagine my characters just being kind of how like Black Bloc and other folks from Antifa work on like street-based sort of work in the midst of crisis or marches, just trying to provide medical aid. She occasionally glows a faint pink color that I sort of imagine is the flavoring for her force sensitivity, a la Carolina Dean, because this is a Runaways inspired sort of group. And yeah, that's me.
And Ting.
Hi, I'm Ting, and I'll be playing Lixa Sung, a human ace pilot who's also a legal street racer.
Nice. So, with our player introductions, are you all ready to do some Senate and safety? Or no, not Senate and Sabers, Senate and safety tools.
We're off to the best of starts. We have started at minute 1 and we are already at Ulfrig flustered. This is great.
To be fair, this is the default setting most of the time. Just most of the time, folks don't
I
have
didn't
to
say
see
it took a lot to get there.
Are folks ready for some senators and Senate and Sabers?
Yes.
Awesome. So, a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, we zoom in on a planet that is entirely city from pole to pole. At the top, it's glitzy and glamorous, but underneath, a seedy underbelly. This is a time in which the Galactic Republic is transforming, barely recognizable as the beacon of hope and glory that it once was. Folks are spreading rumors of atrocities out on the Outer Rim, of military campaigns that have been doing some not so great stuff. But, as always, Chancellor Palpatine's defenders are there, saying that these people are nothing more than SJWs, Star Justice Warriors, and that there is nothing to these things whatsoever. Broke Angela already. And that there is nothing to these rumors whatsoever. High above the planet, a single fighter pilot makes its descent down into the atmosphere, but something goes wrong, and the shields around the planet fail to open. Wreckage falls into the depths of the city, where it lands not too far from a clinic where a kindly woman is working, helping anyone who comes in, regardless of whether or not they can afford it, regardless of who they are in their life. And it lands in the hands of a young man. However, coming up behind him even faster, there is another ship. Vroom! It darts through the atmosphere. Lasers start firing down into the city. Boom, 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 boom. And countless lives lost in the destruction. The boy is hurt in an explosion and runs into the clinic, where he is going to meet all of our characters as he flees with this unknown chip in his hand, some sort of data crystal that he found. He flees into the clinic with it, where he meets all of our beautiful players as he comes in holding his arm, hurt on one side, struggling his way in. What would you all like to do?
Run over and see if I can pick heavy things up and then put them down safely away from him. Pick things up and put them down. That's my job here.
Okay. Do you want to pick him up and put him down somewhere, or do you want to... Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Yelling back, help, we need someone. Now, preferably...
Go ahead and
still
give
not
me...
getting the I'm trying to speak human, but not having my voice regulated properly.
Go ahead and give me a 2d6 Sabers roll. So Sabers is for things like strength, speed, and toughness, and you want to roll under each player's number. Senate is things like charisma, preparation, and intellect, and you want to roll over the number.
Okay, so I'm trying to roll under... You said 2?
whatever your number is. I think your number is yes, 2d6.
Okay.
Rolling under, I think your number is a 5, if I
Yeah,
remember
my
properly.
number's a 5.
Yeah.
Well, I rolled a 1 and a 6, so no.
So that is one success. You manage it, but there is some sort of complication. Do you want to come up with the complication, or would you like for me to?
I will let you two, because I trust Ulfrig.
Not wise. Not a wise decision at all. So you start carrying this, like half carrying this poor guy into the clinic, and weirdly, like it just and as you get like halfway in, he just like passes right out in your arms and goes tumbling halfway down to the floor.
Nope, bad. Help!
I kind of think that moment, Carolina just sort of comes in. She's like, what's going on, Mira? It's not, if someone's coming in about prenatal care, don't even bother. We don't have anything related to that for some reason. I don't know why. We have technology about everything else here, but prenatal care, apparently we don't have anything related to that. But oh dear, that is not good. What is going on? Mira?
He ran in with the thing, and I put the other thing down, and I picked him up to make sure he was okay, but I am having a problem because I'm very short.
Mira? More words other than thing helps. Never mind. We'll fix that. We'll get to that part later. I kind of imagine like as Mira's turning, because we haven't like described what our characters look like, seeing kind of a deep brown skinned, long ponytail that you can see like is the bottom back of it is covering up a whole bunch of what looks almost like scorch or maybe even like laser blaster marks. Like she's barely avoided a couple of shots for unknown reasons. Her clothing is kind of patchwork, and she has occasional bits of like blood and like weird bits of like gauze and other cybernetic tech just all around her. Like she just looks like she's a walking like med kit, both metaphorically and kind of literally. And she's just like there, and she's just like, oh no, no. Okay, get him inside. Let's see if we can get one of the tables. Fine.
Can you grab the legs?
I got the legs, Mira. Don't worry.
And the two of you together can definitely get this kid inside onto one of the tables and start running diagnostics and whatever it is that you would like to do to make sure that he's as taken care of as possible.
Basically just check vitals, seeing as he's passed out. Is he alive? Let's start with that. Let's start with the most basic thing of, is he alive?
He is alive. His left arm kind of in the upper bit, there's like some sort of big old bruising, and it looks like there's some kind of debris possibly lodged in the skin a little bit.
Okay. I think she'd probably be asking around for any if anyone else knows information or can help with the situation. I'm trying to think of how to involve the rest of our party already directly into this, because she's like, I'm going to be focused on this. Can someone please get me more information about this while I go work with Mira on this?
Nindra or Leexla, did either of you happen to see anything as you were nearby?
So he crashed, right?
Someone else crashed, and this fell into the street next to him, and then there was a bounty hunter shooting lasers everywhere. It was a lot.
I mean, I definitely heard it. Lisa's in in one of the small recovery rooms. He's got a like the cast on his arm.
Mm-hmm.
Ninja's probably out. Probably just missed Mira, helping Mira. Probably would look to see if anyone is also trying to come into the clinic and possibly interested in who Mira picked up and such.
Yeah, so you go to the door and you look outside, and not in the immediate area. You don't necessarily see like destruction or anything there. But you can hear the sounds of like sirens in the distance as first responders are working their way down to the area. There is a little bit more debris and smoke in the air than there would usually be at these levels. You're fairly far down, so it's pretty grungy already. And that coming out of the smoke and fog, you see a figure wearing a cloak with some sort of something strapped to their back. You don't know for sure. They're wearing a helmet, giving off like I am big trouble vibes, definitely.
Are they coming this way?
They are coming that way, moving somewhat uncertainly. Like they've got some sort of almost like they're panning their head back and forth, like they're scanning the area for something.
Okay, I want to quickly duck into the clinic, and I'm going to go over to, and it's like, how many people are in the clinic right now? Do you think, Carolina? Like, is it packed? Is it?
I think it really depends on the time of the day. I think right now it's probably, if this is just the middle of the day, nothing too big has happened. Usually some folks, they get involved in things at night and we have to treat other injuries. But I think sometimes in the middle of the day, it's a little bit quieter because folks, that's mainly when folks are just trying to find a way to, because I'm imagining in some sort of like homeless parallels, it has that element of like in the middle of the day, you don't really have anything to do. So you just keep trying to find something to do during the day and hopefully avoid getting in trouble with anyone. So I'd say it's pretty sparse right now. Like it's more a matter of like she just kind of has perpetually anxious face all the time, even when there's no one around. She just has that look, just like, oh boy, what else do I have to do?
I'm going to slip inside, and I actually want to lock the door.
Ninja, what's going on?
Someone out there looks like trouble. And I'm not sure if related to this individual. Is this individual conscious, alive?
They're alive. I'd still have to run tests to determine the extent of the injuries. They look like that they some minor bruising, and I'll probably have to deal with their arm as soon as I can. But
They caught a thing outside. Mira points to where the data crystal-ish thing is, and then is like, oh, trouble, I should make sure that we can move people if needed. Do we have a back door? I keep forgetting.
There is a back door I don't generally try and use in case folks are trying to like sneak out from someone who is shouldn't be trying
I
to
quickly go and make sure that door is locked.
Just Lisa just right there, just like, so you should probably lock this. Where is Lisa, by the way?
Lixla, where roughly are you? Are you in the same area? Are you kind of in the back a little bit?
In the back.
Yeah, so you see Nendra kind of like rush past you, lock the door, and then turn around and head back out to the main area. At which time
I'll go join everyone else in the main area.
And as you get out there, you actually recognize this kid. It's another street racer by the name of Jex Baker. And he is slowly coming around. And Jex, as he wakes up, he sees you, Lixla, and he's like, "Hey, I know you, don't I?"
Maybe.
Okay. Ow. My arm hurts.
Yeah, it's kind of busted right now. try not to move too much. Let's get you situated. I'm guessing you got more racing sort of stuff.
Yeah, I think so. I found this, and he takes out the data crystal and holds it up. And is like, and then they started shooting, and it was all kinds of crazy. I don't know what. Ow.
Where did you find this?
On the street. It fell.
Can I look at it?
Sure. And he hands it over to Mira. Jax hands it over to Mira.
I think Mira would actually have, I guess, some way of identifying it if because they were built as a prototype combat droid. So they probably would have some way to identify a data crystal. At
Cool.
least maybe what type of ship it's from.
Do you like stick it into a USB slot on your arm or something? Or like...
I was gonna go with eye scanners.
Okay. That's slightly less matrixy, so we can totally go with that.
I was trying to lean more Star Wars, less.
Mira, for some reason, suddenly knows Kung Fu. It's very strange.
And can fly a helicopter. Yeah, so you scan it and you realize that this is a list of names. And this list, some of the names are very familiar and some of them aren't. Like the first name on the list is Bail Organa, who is a senator from Alderaan. And there are other names on there. There is someone named Jairus, maybe. There's a name of Mon Mothma. There's all of these names, and you don't necessarily know what they mean, but they're there. And there's a little like readme file. Like when you download a new program, there's always that like readme.txt. And I don't know.
For that, Mira might actually need to plug into the chip in some way, shape, or form.
Okay.
My guess is, like I said, they can do that because I'm guessing that combat droids would need to transfer information without actually saying things out loud occasionally.
Yeah, so you plug in, and instead of it being text, it's a little hollow film. And you recognize the face of Leia Organa, Senator Bail's daughter. And she's making a plea, and she goes, and she looks very seriously at the camera, and she goes, "Dad, it's important. They seem to have caught on. Not all of us, but some. We've heard rumors about a super weapon being built out in the middle of nowhere, so possibly someone named Urso is working on it. But the Empire, they've seemed to have found some of us, folks who are working against them. We think these names on the list, these are folks that they have a lead on. However, we've had some luck getting this scrubbing as many of their databases as possible, but Dad, I need you to check on these folks, make sure that they're okay, and let them know that they may be compromised."
Everybody just hears Mira do the sort of R2-D2 kind of whistle. The R2-D2 whistle. And just afterwards, like, oh. Looking around at everybody and then just seeing like,
Mira?
blue screen of death.
Mira, Mira, what's on the crystal?
Um, a list of names. And Mira sort of does this thing where their voice goes in and out because they're trying to. Mira tries to seem human, but has definitely shiny lavender-ish skin, maybe a little too much, and is just doing there are sorry, names of important politicians on disc. Can't read everything.
Do you know who it belongs to? Who do we need to get this to? Do you know?
Leia Organa sent it somewhere.
Senator Organa? Does it need to go to Senator Organa?
Probably.
At about this time, you all hear a banging on the door and a slightly mechanical sounding voice going, "Are you open? I have need of medical care."
Mira's just going to kind of unplug the chip and open up the jacket and open one of the little Astro Boy chest plate kind of things and just stuff the crystal in there and close it.
Yes. The banging on the door comes again. "Please, I need some help."
Kind of looking at Ninja and Leoxa and
I'll open the door. Just be prepared. Or do you want me to open the door?
Lisa, do you have thoughts? I have several. None of them currently avoiding panic, but
Bang, bang,
thoughts?
bang, bang, bang.
Maybe we shouldn't just yet. So Lixa wears a mask when he's racing and speaks in a different voice. So Jax knows him, but under a different name. So out of sight of Jax, I'm gonna put on my racing mask and then go talk to him.
Okay, yeah, you open. Oh, and thank you, new to the party, for the raid. That is wonderful.
Hi, Mock.
Yeah, so you go to the door and do you just open it? Do you
No, I meant Jax.
Oh, you go to Jex. Yeah, what
Yeah,
do you want to do with
Jax.
Jex?
I'll say, Jax, what have you got yourself into?
I mean, uh nothing. And he's going to look really shifty and just I mean, I found it on the street. I don't know what it is, okay? Don't ask me any more questions because I don't know. He knows.
Come on, this is no time to be hiding anything.
Okay, so I kind of met this guy, and he was like, "Yo, if you help me by making this pickup at this place at this time, I can get you some credits, and you can totally, upgrade your car." And I was like, "Hover car?" I don't know. And I was like, "Yeah, okay, I'll do that." And, I don't know, I just knew that I was supposed to get the data chip, and it all went sideways, man. It all went totally sideways.
Anything else? What did they look like?
What did who look like?
This this contact.
I didn't meet them. I went to the drop point, and I know that I'm supposed to take it to somewhere. Where am I supposed to take it? Oh my God, Jex, please, brain. Uh,
You're Jax.
yeah, I know. My brain isn't working. I don't remember where I'm supposed to take it. Slash, the DM is looking at their notes.
I like to I still appreciate that thought though that's said in character. He's just like, what was going on in my brain? I know what was going on in my brain, but I can't remember what it was. What do I do? What's going on? What do I do?
I was supposed to find a door. A yellow door? A yell door. Some kind of door. Up by the Senate building.
As in a door into the Senate building, or someone named a door?
I don't know. I kind of zoned out after the credits part, to be honest.
Damn it.
Ooh. So
Is
you
there?
don't.
Wait, like,
Do we know a senator a door?
Someone who would like to can give me a Senate roll to see if you can get any sort of, if you can piece together any of the random information about the yell door that he's giving you.
I will give it a shot.
Go.
How many would I be rolling based off of my particular experience?
Ooh, so you are a medic. You're a Coruscant native. I'm gonna say this is just a 1d6, unless you can give me an argument for why you would have more than that.
I think that makes sense given I don't know politics and I don't necessarily know I know more about like what happens to people around the area.
Would I know more because of me being from Alderaan and not supposed to know this, but technically a Padawan
Yes.
on the Lamb?
Potentially,
So-
yes, you would know more.
Could I assist in some way?
Yeah. So that would be, let me see.
What
So that
what
that
happens
would
when you
be-
roll exactly your number? That's a
You-
not a success, right?
you get Senate sabers, so you either get to ask a question that gives you, or no, sorry, you roll on the table. So roll another d6.
Okay. Roll another. Okay, I'm gonna choose the rainbow dice because this seems more appropriate. That's a 4.
A 4. It is a perfect success. So with Senate sabers, you know that maybe it's not a door, maybe it's a Keldor,
Oh.
which is an alien race that has like face mask thingies. I think Jedi Master Plo Koon was a Keldor, if I remember properly. But basically, they come from a non-oxygen breathing planet, so they
I
use
was
gear
like,
to.
is this what I think it is? It isn't, and I'm surprised in a wonderful way. That is not the most pleasant looking fellow.
I would not throw that at you.
That is not the most pleasant looking individual.
So, yeah, so
But-
you know that it's not necessarily a door, it's a Keldor. And if the yellow is a clue and not just a slightly concussed kid being kind of loopy, then there is the senatorial pages wear yellow tunics. So you'd probably be looking for a Keldor senatorial page, possibly having something to do with the Alderaan delegation.
Okay, so
Oh, so I don't need to roll then.
Nope.
no,
So-
because apparently the person who had one chance got perfect
Got
on
it.
on the first go. I'm having grog-esque success over here. Anyways,
Broken clock is right twice a day.
I think before she revealed, I feel like she would not say any of that directly. I think she would still keep playing to like she doesn't display any of it. Like she would give probably a look to Mira, to Lisa, and to Nindra, and then just put like a finger to her mouth. But it's in the moment like where she's talking down to Jax, but in like the quick second, she'll just like do finger to her lips, like shush about it. like she knows something, but she's not saying it. But in front of Jax out loud, she'll say, "Look, Jax, I'm sorry about your arm. Please lay off the death sticks, and please try and not get involved with things like this, especially when you don't know who you're supposed to be looking for."
At this point, you all hear blaster fire coming from outside. And what sounds like some sort of cutting torch starts working on the edge of the door, as the person who had been there pounding apparently has given up all pretense of like trying to get something out of you nicely and is just trying to bust their way in.
We need to get out of here.
Yeah.
Can Mira try to this voice is gonna kill me, sorry. Can Mira try to shove something in front of the door?
Yeah. Go ahead and give me that sabers roll again. And this would be
Same 2D.
definitely 2d6.
Okay. 4.
All right,
Under.
so that
Which is under my 5.
So that is one success. Did you roll the other d6?
Yeah, it's a 1 and a 3.
One
Sorry.
and a 3. Okay, cool.
Oh,
Yeah, so
that's 2 successes.
let me know each number because each die can succeed or fail on its
okay.
own.
Yeah, it's a per die success mechanic, success fail mechanic.
Yeah, so that's 2 successes. So what is it that you find and manage to shove in front of the door?
I mean, I'm assuming they probably have these big metal cabinets where we store a bunch of medical supplies. Some of them may be flammable.
Okay.
Oxygen is horribly flammable when compressed.
Oxygen. So you're going to move a cabinet of compressed oxygen in front of the door that someone is currently laser cutting their way through. Cool. Yeah.
and then kind of just be like, everybody out the back now.
When the GM has to repeat exact in full detail what you've just done, this is usually the sign of something very good and startling or very bad is just to happen.
I mean, at the very least, they'd kind of tilt it against the door, so maybe if they explode, they go that way and not this way.
Also, a very quick thanks to Far Realm joining the party. Welcome. A happy mind flayer hello to you.
Yeah, so you put the highly explosive chemicals up against the door and everyone books it out the back. As you get out the back, you manage to take Jex and anyone else who is in the clinic with you. As you get out the back, you can hear a boom come from the front as the compressed O2 suddenly causes massive ignition. And while that seems to have stopped the individual that was there, all of a sudden, Republic/Imperial police who were in the area responding to the other series of crashes and blaster things that have happened, all of a sudden are paying a lot of attention to what's going on where there seems to have been a bombing and a whole bunch of combination civilian police officers and clone troopers immediately start swarming over towards the clinic. What would you all like to do?
Hopefully they're mostly at the front and not the back.
At the moment, yes, but they're quickly
Nindra
spreading
had something
out.
she wanted to say.
We need to go. We need to get someplace safe now.
Agreed.
Would Nindra have a place?
If Nindra would like to have a place, Nindra totally could have a place.
Nindra would have a place because she's been in hiding for no particular reason whatsoever. So yes.
So do you want to make up the details or do you want me to provide one?
I think it's going to probably be in a seedier sort of part. Like we go down a few alleys I'm like going, come on, this way. And we go down a couple of alleys and go, and maybe there might be a little couple of questioning looks, but eventually, move a couple of things and get into a door. And I'm like, come on. And you might not realize there was a door there, but somehow Ninja was just able to move some stuff without Mira's help. And there's a door, and like, get in, get in, get in, get in.
And so you all pile in through the door, and do you have an idea for what you want this place to be?
Oh, it is the worst version of a studio apartment you probably can imagine. Like it's
So an LA studio apartment is what you're saying.
yeah. Just
I'm picturing almost like one of those Japanese pod hotel places.
Oh, it's that small.
oh god, yeah. It's yeah, it's small. We barely fit. But we fit.
So yeah, you all get inside, the door closes, you hear all of these people like running around outside. Again, more sirens, more craziness. No more blaster fire, thankfully. But you are in this bolt hole.
Mira is kind of gonna look over at Lexa, because one of the things I also had in their backstory is they were a prototype bot. So one of the things that they did after they were decommissioned was very quickly join a fighting ring. Because they didn't have much else they could do. So is gonna look at Lexa and be like, do you know another place? We're not gonna be able to stay here.
Look, I know it's small, but it's good for right now. So we get a plan.
Well, no, that's why Mira was looking at Lexa, because Lexa also is tangential probably to, because there's an underground racing, and probably fighting is pretty close in the...
I can make some calls.
I think we need it. I can't make calls without, physically going there.
So do we have like patience with this, or do we just have...
I'm gonna say y'all managed to find a place to stash other people as you went, so that you don't have to worry about carrying a whole bunch of injured people along with you.
It was like I knew it was like, okay, well, we can keep them here, and then now we can hide.
Now we can go somewhere else.
Yeah.
We are blessed to have a GM who does not have us do 2 more hours of an escort mission.
I played way too much GoldenEye as a kid. I would not do that to you.
I respect that reference so much.
Yes. It's like, yeah, Carolina, they'll be fine there. Trust me about that. I know them. But now we got to get this crystal. At least I know I have to get this crystal in the right hands. I don't know if the rest of you want to as well, but...
Well, seeing as I don't really have a clinic to work out of anymore, I'll have to see if I can...
Sorry.
No, it's not your fault, Mira. It is your fault, but it's not actually your fault. It's... Oh, Lord. Several gods that exist and or not. Please, somebody. Like, she just has the look of like... The whole time I've been running, she's just been like grabbing the back of her neck where you can see there's like visible... It's like scarring of like laser blaster fire. Oof. Where she's probably missed a few, never explained it, never given a reason why that's there. She's just like, well, great. Well, and she's just like looking at her like kit of supplies that she has on her. It's like, well, I have enough for so you don't scar, you seem competent and you seem capable. Okay, I'll have to fill in for the incompetent and or aggrieved part of our group. So let's get on with this. She's just like, let's... If either of you know how to take care of this, I
would
just want to get back to helping folks. If this helps anybody, then
Mhm.
sure, I'll go along with it. But
So we're looking for a Kildor.
yeah, we're looking for a Keldor Centaurial page for the Alderaan envoy and emissaries. That's what we're looking for.
Okay, well, I am from Alderaan, so maybe if we work together. So what would I know now?
As a Jedi or as a someone
Yeah.
As a someone, as
as
a yeah, I'm from Alderaan. That's all we need to know right now.
VOD will just like post editing of the VOD will just have like a mechanical like buzz out effect as Ulrich speaks the one word.
Yeah.
It's like, depending on how much time you've spent in the underbelly of Coruscant, you might know that you could get to the Senate building through through the public works. So these huge well, not even underground, but at various levels throughout the city, huge pipes that are full of either they carry the power, the sewage, the water, anything that needs to get from one part of the planet to another in terms of utilities. And they connect everywhere from the former Jedi Temple up to the Imperial Senate up to the Imperial Palace itself, potentially.
If
The
we're willing
EXO
to,
was also making some calls, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can we get a ride?
Yeah, cause wouldn't that take too long on foot? Getting from here to the Senate building.
It would take a
Well-
very long time on foot. Sorry.
okay, well, if you know a vehicle and a way for us to not stand out on our way there, then I'm all for it. You got anything?
I got something, and I'll use my communicator that I text racing my racing rivals with and buddies with. I'll just say need a need a need a ride large enough for some passengers, putting up my ride for collateral.
Oh, a whole bunch of alien buzz clicking sounds comes back over the communicator, basically saying, "That's quite the collateral. You got yourself a deal. Where should we pick you up?"
Whatever EXO
Oh,
saw last from.
Ninja will give some good. It's like, okay, look down here through there. I get it. Pick us. I'll tell Lexa where have them pick us up. So
Yeah,
I know how to.
not directly here, but somewhere nearby.
Yeah.
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 Carolina probably just adds an additional note. It's like, hey, you know where the fire is happening? Yeah, just 2 blocks from that. Just innocuous spot. That. Like, I think she's staring at the group. And it's like, they don't care about us. They don't know who we are, and in general, they don't care about us.
Yeah, but
So
we're going somewhere where they might care. So we need to.
That is a fair point.
so out of the text, I'll pick the person the one the person that I least trust the most. Or wait, that's not right.
The person that you do trust the most?
The person that the shady person that I
The most reliable shady person who will least likely to fuck us over is this.
right
Right.
We need a shady person because that's how we'll actually get a ride, but we need the one who, like, in the spectrum of like skullduggery and such, is reliable.
Because they know that if they're not, their skin's on the line too. So
Yeah.
So I'm going to say
Yeah,
the person.
the least vile of the scum and villainy.
So I'm going to say
can we
that.
just sprinkling a vial on our NPC helping us out? Just a sprinkling.
So I'm going to say the person who comes back that is least likely to screw you over is a Celestin named Sons Ninx. So like Neenub, the guy who's with Lando Calrissian and the Millennium Falcon when they take on the second Death Star. So alien dude with kind of double cheeks, big dark eyes, and sounds kind of wubba 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 when they talk.
He has a constant reverb effect at all times for no reason whatsoever.
And they say that they can meet you there in about 10 minutes, but you all better be ready to hop in whatever vehicle they've got, and don't ask too many questions about where they got it from.
Please be a Star Wars equivalent of a weenie mobile or something of that sort. Just the most like, we're on a secret mission of great importance. Also, weenie mobile.
Someone give me a D6 roll, actually.
It's your idea, Angela.
Yep.
Damn it. This is what I get for my ridiculosity. All right, D6 roll. Fire away. That is a 4.
Okay. Yeah, so you all make your way to the area, and pulling up is a car saying Jex, or not Jex, I've already used Jex, is a car saying Rainsteppers Extermination Services, with a picture of a little Minoc and a little Gizka on the side with like the circle and the X through them. And the back of this like big van opens up and there's a Celeste in there, and they basically just like shout at you, "Get in, come on." Oh.
Mira, just after they left the hiding spot, is just sticking this on.
I have, for no reason whatsoever, I just have the car meme where it's like a get in rebels, were unseating an empire here or something like that.
Okay, hop in.
Hop it in.
All right, so you all pile in the back, and the Celestin up front gives Leixla, who is still in his mask, yes?
Yeah, yes.
Kind of like a slap on the back, like a, "Hey, you owe me one, buddy." So. And they're going to say, "So, you don't usually call me up for a ride. What's the story?"
Better if you don't ask too many questions.
Well, there's one I've got it, and that's, where are we going?
Building of Public Works?
Well, the public works is what connects everything. We're looking for the Ninja would know, right?
Yeah. So I tell them where we're going with the
Imperial Senate offices?
The Imperial Senate, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so he kind of like gives the Celestin kind of gives some strong side eye with that one, and is like, "All right, you're the boss," and just like pops it into gear and shoots straight up, violating about half a dozen traffic laws as you go, and starts heading for the Imperial Senate building. He gets not too far away, and you see that there are checkpoints kind of all around the Imperial Senate. It's been a day on Coruscant. They're kind of taking some security measures here. And that all traffic going into or coming out of the Imperial Senate, including the service entrance, which is where someone in an exterminator's van might try and go, is being pushed through these checkpoints, basically. And there are clone troopers kind of all around. They've got big old ion cannons that they can use to stun or to wipe ships' electronics, so that they won't necessarily like fall from the sky, but they will stop, and then they can be boarded if anyone tries to blast through. Your driver joins the queue for one of these, and gives Leixla, Sons gives Leixla a look and is like, buddy, I'm starting to get a few more questions here. How do we play this one? And
Are there uniforms in the back of the van?
there are 2 uniforms in the back of the van.
Mira just passes them up front.
It's like will not fit, not appropriate size, help. Small droid.
At that point, Mira is just kind of going to be like, like
Is there any way
open
Yes.
little open jacket, open chest plate, take little data crystal out, toss it to probably either Carolina or Nindra, and just kind of closes the hatch and then takes off the hat and takes off a wig and kind of like dresses down really quickly and just is like, my number is not good anymore, but you should be able to use me as a reason to get into the Senate. Since I guess technically you can play this as I was stolen property.
Who were you stolen from?
The creator who made me, and technically Mira was stolen by themselves.
My heart.
Is just kind of dressed down into little 4-foot something droid that looks remarkably human and pretty functional. This probably doesn't phase Lexa at all.
My filthy goblin brain went somewhere completely inappropriate with that.
Yeah, that's what I saw that look, Ulfrig. I saw that look. I know that face. I've seen it on several other streams. I think Ninja was trying to say something.
Yes.
I don't know if we want to do that or if we want to try to, I don't know, is there a way we can, I don't know, get out and try to make the way out, rest of the way on foot, or is it too crowded? Is it just too much?
We're in the
I
air
thought,
a lot.
Yeah, I thought we were in the air.
Well, we are.
I think she means like veer back down to more like street level and try and go the like if we have building up here which has some level of elevation and we're currently down here, I think the idea is that we go back down and take the long dungeon crawl-esque route, or the skullduggery route as we might refer to it.
Yeah, there's speeder landing pads kind of all over the place in Coruscant. You might not be able to stop at one for very long without getting a ticket, but if you want to, you can totally pull up and disgorge from the exterminator's truck and try and find another entrance. Or you can try and bluff your way past the checkpoint or something else I haven't even thought of.
I don't know that it would be entirely a bluff that Mira was stolen.
The only problem with that plan, though, is that the likelihood, just based off our appearance, which is to say Carolina in her head is like, based off of how I look, do I necessarily look like the kind of person who would survive that bluffing exchange and not be immediately carted somewhere with said droid? I think that's her
We
thought.
just have to get close enough. I would be hoping that you wouldn't be leaving me.
I would prefer not to. You're pleasant enough, despite the exploding my clinic.
That's what I'm afraid of. If we say we're doing stolen goods, then there's paperwork, then
we just have to land.
Damn it.
Why
must you be this way, Ulfrig? Why must you be like this?
Okay. So you all want
just hide under the seats. Ooh.
So what do you folks want to do? Do you want to hide the most suspicious person under the seat / in the back of the van? and try and bluff through? Do you want to pull over and try and find another route in?
Someone's gotta be a decider.
What's the vote? What's the vote right now?
Everyone vote. Who wants to do
Mira just wants to get close enough so that we can hit a landing pad after the checkpoint. Like, after getting through the checkpoint, that's all they're hoping to do, because they're really hoping you do not take them wherever the people tell you to take them.
That's just it. They might take you
anyways
from there. If we had the checkpoint, they might just take you at the checkpoint if you're stolen good. That's the thing.
Yeah, that's
they will say thank you very much. They'll take our names, they'll take you, and that's it. That's why I think we should land and bypass the checkpoint altogether.
Yeah, that's kind of my route too. Her route is, okay, what's the likelihood that if this works out well, that at least one of us gets left behind for some reason? Pretty high. So I think she'll switch. Her vote is the skullduggery route.
Yeah, we've gotten a lot closer. The building's in sight. I say we land and we make our way.
They might see us land at this point.
Well, it's crowded. We pick one of those crowded ones. Basically, sort of pause long enough for us to jump, and then they're gone.
Well, at least maybe we can walk back.
Yes.
The level of stress for Mira will be determined by presence of hat.
Okay, so you all find a place to pull over and are going to try and wander in through some sort of skullduggerous route?
Yes.
I'll say that you all managed to pull over pretty easily and pile out of the car. I'm going to want a roll from someone to see if you can find a good entrance to the public works or here, which would also get you in there. Or to determine if there's another route that y'all would like to take.
I've rolled a lot, so I'll abstain from being the one to roll on this one.
Well,
Mira is just here to pick things up and put them down.
Yeah, I've been on the surface and such. Would that be... So this would be a Senate roll? Or would it be...
I think this would be a Senate roll because you're trying to remember where it is and find the way, which I would say is an intellect task.
So how many dice do I get?
So you get one just for trying. Let's see.
I have spent some time on the surface of Coruscant.
So I'm going to say you're prepared, so that would be a second dice. I'm trying to figure out if there's any way to get you a third or not, and I'm not.
From Alderaan? And considering my past, I might have met him.
I think that'll help once you get inside the building.
Once I get inside? Okay.
Yeah, that would definitely be a card to play then.
So I'm a 4, so I want over 4, right?
Correct.
Yes.
Oh, I got a 2 and a 3.
Oh, no.
Which is bad.
Okay, so something goes wrong. I tell you how things get worse. So
God.
You all start walking your way up closer towards the building, and Nindra, you remember where this where the closest entrance to the public works is, but when you get there, it's locked. And as you all are kind of at this door trying to figure out what to do, you notice that a clone trooper patrol is coming closer towards you. And they seem to have taken notice of these 3 humanoids and a slightly strange robot hanging out next to a door of the public works very close to the Senate building on a day when there's already been like terrorist activity in the city, and they're gonna start...
Mira definitely has their clothes back on in the wig.
And they're going to start coming over towards you, and one of them says, "May we see some identification?" Or no, this is clone troopers. They're Kiwi. "We'd like to see your identification, please."
Um, there's nothing. We are just passing by. There's nothing to see here.
Are you trying to use a force power on them? Are you trying to persuade them?
I'm trying to do the whole.
Do it.
I'm doing the whole.
These aren't the droids you're looking for.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Everything.
This one is not the droid you were looking for. Thank you. Bye.
Yes. Everything is.
Go ahead and give me 2 more d6, another Senate roll to see if you are able to successfully trick these clone troopers.
I got a 5 and a 4.
So that is a success and a Senate Sabers. Give me another d6 roll.
See what happens with that.
A 3.
3. Oh no.
Boy, oh boy. Oh god.
No. Oh no.
Oh god. Everyone, because we're so used to it, for our viewers' benefit. So some of us aren't used to the system. So there's just the delay of us looking at our sheets and the rules and the realization of what has happened.
Okay,
I
so
rolled a 3.
a 3 on Senate Sabers is ambush. So you successfully mind trick these clone troopers and they go, "You're exactly where you're supposed to be. We don't need to see your identification." But as they do so, that figure that you saw earlier coming out of the smoke drops down from the sky and lands on top of one of the clone troopers, knocking him to the ground. They have a stun pike thing, which is a very nasty Star Wars weapon that is basically like a giant stick with a stunny bit. It's like a cattle prod basically, and reaches down in between the armor and sticks one of the clone troopers with the cattle prod.
Oh.
The other
I remember what this is. Oh no.
The other clone trooper turns and is trying to line up their blaster but isn't fast enough, and the back of the cattle prod comes up against them. Now there is a bounty hunter with a very ugly cattle prod thing advancing on the 4 of you. What would you like to do?
Stand back and out from their jacket. There's no one else around. We're like in that alley sort of deal, right? Like it's just.
Oh god.
And you haven't seen it. She just gets from the end, and all of a sudden, vroom, the lightsaber comes out.
Yes. How does everyone else react to your friend suddenly pulling out a lightsaber?
I don't know exactly
the-
when Mira would have been decommissioned, but I'm not entirely sure that they would think the Jedi are bad. Because they may have been decommissioned before that. So at least they aren't going to try to shoot Nindra.
And Lixa, you said there's a what the heck going on there?
Yeah.
Carolina has a what the heck. It's a very differently tinged what the heck. It's more of a that can't be possible. That shouldn't be possible kind of one.
Well,
And
time to kick the door down.
Yeah, I'm just like, yeah, I'm just like, I'll hold them off till it's time.
Okay, so you start fighting the bounty hunter. Mira, you're going to try and kick open the door. Go ahead and give me 2d6 for the attempt to kick open the door. Leixla or Carolina, is there anything either of you would like to do in this situation?
I want to grab one of the blasters from the clone trooper.
You can grab one of the blasters from the clone trooper.
You're
Your
looking
face-
so happy.
Yeah, your face got so happy at that. I'm just like, the moment of chaos arrives and Ulfrig is now suddenly in their element.
Oh yeah, we're in this now.
Like
Yeah,
someone-
lightsabers.
2 and a 1. And
So
I'm at a 5, so
that
I'm
is
kicking a door down.
awesome. So, Leixla, you have a blaster. Nindra, go ahead and give me a 2d6 roll for fighting this bounty hunter to see how that goes. Leexla, since you have a blaster, you can assist if you would like to.
So I got a 2 and a 4.
Okay.
And I'm a 4.
And you're a 4. Oh no. Give me another 1d6 roll for that. Say,
Let the
Senate sabers.
Good. Let the chaos flow through you.
How many am I rolling? Just one?
Yes.
A 6.
A bit of your character is revealed. Ooh.
Oh, we got the lightsaber.
So it's not just like, I guess like you could maybe have like, well, just because you have a lightsaber, maybe not. But during the fight, she obviously does one of the force maneuver things to where you can tell this is not just someone who bought some sort of backdoor like lightsaber thing or something. It's an actual lightsaber with someone who's using a force power. This is obviously someone who's
Who still remembers training?
and who should not be. This is definitely someone who should not be alive.
Question.
Mhm.
How does using force powers, how would that be asked to roll here?
Oh, how would this
Oh,
be
yeah.
the roll here? Because I keep forgetting.
'Cause I think there is a section for force roll.
Force roll. I keep forgetting
Yeah.
about that.
So it's 2, 4, and 6. The force is with you, and however, if more than one user succeeds the same check, increases the magnitude of the effect.
All right.
So it's looking like I'm trying to get evens on a 1d6 roll to
Mhm.
get it to work.
Oh, so I need to roll again?
No. That's not why I'm asking. I just
Oh,
wanted to
okay.
know how you would do it.
I think it works because you got the 4, so I would count that as a works in the force.
Why I was asking. I was waiting. I was waiting to see how the door would go.
Oh.
Got the
'Cause-
door. I got the door.
Because there's just a moment where like Carolina is just sort of looking at the display of the lightsaber and everything, waiting for Ting to fire off a shot, and then it's just like, let's give this a try. Why not? This day can't get any worse. And she tries to maneuver the force power to throw the door at the bounty hunter.
Yeah.
She's also force sensitive. I just didn't mention it.
Sweet. Yes. Go ahead and give me that force roll.
I got a 2.
one, unfortunately.
And you got a 2. So Leexla, you are able to help. Carolina, you got a
Only a 1, so the force roll I think doesn't work. I think it's definitely a moment of panic. So it probably like veers. It's probably very clear that she like it's probably very clear to Nindra how that happened. Probably to anyone else, it's like, oh, Mira just kind of was a little too much in the taking apart the door. But probably Nindra knows that. It's like,
Nindra is just because it's the forces with her. She's just like, oh.
So Nindra and Leexla, as Mira and then Carolina rush through this door that has now flown off into space, you two are trying to handle the bounty hunter. What does it look like, and how does Leexla getting this blaster shot off help Nindra fight off the bounty hunter?
Probably it's divided the bounty hunter's attention.
Yeah,
And has
because
that-
I'm probably giving. I'm more shooting like suppressive fire
Mhm.
at them.
yeah. So can't focus on a lightsaber wielder that just appeared out of nowhere.
So we'll say that when the bounty hunter saw you pull out your lightsaber, Nindra, they decide that the cattle prod thing is probably not a great idea versus lightsaber. They pull out a blaster and start shooting, but the force is with you, and it's just chung 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 chung. And that's gonna get gift. And the so yeah, you block them all, but aren't necessarily pushing the bounty hunter back until Leexla pulls out his blaster and doesn't score a hit necessarily directly, but hits the bounty hunter's armor, dividing their attention and giving the two of you just enough time to dash into the open door of the public works, where Mira is down the hall at another doorway going, come on, come on, come on. And it is just as you are all getting there, and you all get through that door and manage to slam it shut after everyone gets through. And you are now in basically the Coruscant sewers, not too far from the Senate building, where you know that you need to go to find Bail Organa and or the Keldorian page. And I reckon that's a pretty exciting place to go to break.
Oh, you know, two Jedi reveal, a droid chucking a door somewhere, street racer just blasting and letting us escape with our lives. It's
Yeah.
side quests. For those people, it was the greatest day of their lives. For us, it's just a normal Monday.
Yeah. It's Monday.
No, it's a Monday.
It's Victoria Day, in fact. As we go to break, a huge thank you to our VIP Top Circle patron. That's Jack C, Donald G, Nerdy T, Michelle E, Abigator, Anino, and Andy T. These folks really do a whole lot to keep us going here in terms of keeping, figuratively speaking anyway, the lights on. Every bit of support that we get means so much in terms of helping out. So thank you, all of you, for the support that you give. And a huge thank you to the folks who followed and raided during the first half, including New to the Party and Far Realm. We are going to take a quick break, but we will be back in about 10 minutes, so you can see us then.
Thanks so much for hanging out with us today. If you get a second during break, you should check out one of our amazing sponsors. We're now proudly sponsored by Roll20, the best virtual tabletop for all your role-playing needs. Over 4 million people use Roll20's virtual tabletop to power their favorite games. And with more modules than you can shake a stick at on their new revamped storefront, you'll definitely find something for your group to enjoy. Sign up today by clicking the link below or heading to roll20.net/start/WTTP. Tabletop Loot is an amazing place to get your dice bags, dice boxes, and more. And now you can get 15% off your purchase at tabletoploot.com by using the code WTTPDICE at checkout. Tabletop Loot. Your party starts here. While you're at it, check out our so awesome merch store, So Nerdware. So Nerdware is the place to find all your Welcome to the Party merch and other amazing stuff too. Head on over to sonerdware.com and use the code WELCOME at checkout to get 10% off your next purchase. So Nerdware. It's what the nerds wear. Devin Roux, the amazing mistress of maps, has kindly supported the channel since the beginning and provides graphics for many of our streams. Head on over to RouxInc.com to check out some of the best fantasy cartography on the web. Our Patreon supports the creators and producers of the channel by providing Roll20 subscriptions, cost coverage for video hosting, and more. If you want to support the channel while getting podcasts a week early, gaming articles that are published on Patreon first, a shout out during our break, and more, head on over to patreon.com/welcomepartyrpg and throw us a buck or $5. And last, but certainly not least, help out the party. Subs and bits not only support the stream, but also every 500 bits or a tier 1 sub gives a player or DM of your choice a reroll or system equivalent, and every 1000 bits or tier 2 sub gives a player or DM of your choice a crit or system equivalent. Thanks again for hanging out with us today. The game will be back in just a few minutes.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Delicious things to eat.
The popcorn can't be beat. The sparkling drinks are just dandy, the chocolate bars and the candy. So let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Hello and welcome back. We have just come back where we are playing. Oops, sorry, let me get something settled on my computer. We are playing Senate and Sabers, a Star Wars hack of lasers and feelings, which is totally different from next week's hack of lasers, Star Wars hacks of lasers and feelings, by the way. Our intrepid accidental rebels, maybe, have wound up with a data chip that has a whole bunch of information very valuable to the rebellion on it. And they have just managed to sneak their way past a couple of clone troopers, fight off a bounty hunter, and basically duck into the sewers of Coruscant, where they've got a moment of peace as they work their way closer to the Imperial Senate to hand over the data chip. What would you folks like to do before I throw more things at you?
Makes it sound like we're like people like pinned to like one of those medieval like spinny wheels where folks throw like the knives at them or something.
Oh gosh, hopefully it's not that painful.
Hey, I didn't say it was bad.
Yeah.
Run,
Probably
run,
gone in.
maybe run. How about run?
I agree with this sentiment, but I imagine this is a moment of like after running and like getting to a moment of like catching our breath is what I think the intent from Ulfric was telling us. Like this is a moment of like, okay, we're more than out of eyesight of said guy trying to kill us, or not even guy, individual, pardon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the bounty hunters on now a couple of other locked doors will say. You're kind of winding your way through this maze of tunnels and pipes, and all around you are the little mouse droids, the wheel toaster, future Roomba things, that are going back and forth. Some of them have like little tools stuck to the top of them. Ugnaughts, which are the short creatures with kind of the beards, are wandering back and forth and working on machines as they go. But for the most part, you folks are alone and not really drawing a whole lot of attention as you work your way through.
Do we know where we're going?
Yeah, is this the right way?
Who wants to give me a Senate roll to see if you are able to correctly determine which way to go?
I'm willing to give it a shot if folks are okay with that.
Oh, can
What's up?
I assist via maybe downloading a floor plan from our Roomba friends?
Yes.
I
There you go.
appreciate
There you go.
I appreciate you so much, Glim. I appreciate you. So would that be how many would that be for trying to make that roll, Ulfric?
I'm going to say up to 3d6 with the assistance.
Do I
Okay.
roll or no?
I think Carolina, unless you really want to.
Well,
Oh no, I meant
no,
do I roll to assist?
in order to
her?
enable us and assist up to the third d6 is what I think they were asking.
No, I think you just get the additional dice from the assist by saying that you assist.
Okay, duck. Either way, it's GM's call anyway, so
Yeah.
GM is done. So that will be 3d6 with number of 3. So that is a 4, 4, and a 1.
So 2
Which-
successes.
Yes, because I was trying to get over the number. Yes, so that's 2 successes.
You do it well. And I'm going to say that is specifically Mira's help that enables you to do so. You like come up to a big branching corridor up ahead, and Carolina's kind of standing there going, "Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, catch a tiger by the toe," and Mira's like, "It's this way."
Yeah, and I'll if it's all right if I add just one little element to that, Ulfrig, I'd like to think that there's maybe another spot where like maybe the Roombas haven't gone like far enough, like they have maybe like set patterns for how they go through and do the cleaning,
Mm-hmm.
and like we reach another one of those door spots, and it's like even like Mira trying to help is like I don't really know, they haven't gone over here to clean, and Carolina will not treat it as like anything more than like it's just a gut feeling, but I think it's I like to think it's sort of like the inclination of what she feels and doesn't want to admit, guiding her in the right direction. Which is
Excellent. I
just
like
like,
that a
nope,
lot.
nope, nope, not that, not that. Or if it is, nope, nope, don't talk about it.
So you get a little bit of guidance from backing up your ability to maybe help Mira fling doors from earlier. Does anyone else notice this?
Probably Ninja at the very least.
And during it, it's like, who wants to go first?
I probably saw the mirror through the door.
Like when we're talking, it's like, so about
I really love the idea of just Lexa just boop.
Throw the indestructible one in front of us first, or the less destructible one. But Ninja,
Then
you were
it's
saying
like,
something?
do we want to talk about this?
It's nothing to talk about. It's just a feeling. Nothing happened. I'm not involved with anything bigger. It's just a feeling. That's all it's supposed to be.
Yeah, I have those feelings too.
Mira just kind of like pops little cat hat head back with the mask off so that people can hear, just being, we are we're good now.
We're fine. It's nothing. It shouldn't be anything.
Were you supposed to be trained?
That is from a very long time ago. It's not. They didn't want me. It's fine. It's not. They're all gone anyways. Or at least as far as I know, they're gone. No one's supposed to care about any of us anymore anyway, so let's try and do something much more practical and much more tangible.
Not all gone.
They're gone enough that they didn't bother to come and find some of us. We got left behind like so many of the rest of the folks who wanted to do good things and didn't bother to care about those of us who were down here on this level.
Meanwhile, heartfelt, touching moment, and Mira trying to get Lexa to help me with the little Roomba thing. Just
Okay.
catching vacuums in the background.
It's like trying to catch a chicken, you know.
Yeah, the little droid is kind of like, as you close in on it, it'll squeak and suddenly take off in another direction, but it doesn't have a whole lot of power, so it gets, kind of just far enough that you can chase it before it stops and repeat ad nauseum.
Yeah.
For some reason, I just hear just happening in my head for that scene, but that's not what's happening between Carolina and Nindra. It's like someone went Danny Elfman in the other one, and someone tried to do actually good Zack Snyder in the other direction. I have to add the qualifier because, for obvious reasons.
I left too. I think that's the only reason why I'm still alive. I never took the trials. After what happened to Tano, I couldn't believe what they did to her at all. I never got to tell her. And I think I tell her that she was right. I couldn't find her. I heard she had she was actually down in the lower levels, but then I missed her. And then everything.
There used to be a few of us down in the lower levels.
Yeah.
I used to treat most of them. I used to talk every now and then, but most of them are gone now. Maybe one of the only ones left. I don't know. I'm not one, so it doesn't matter. So it's not a big deal.
I guess I'm technically not one either.
Well, let's go. Let's not be one together, and let's take care of this. Let's go do something practical.
Agreed.
As you two are wrapping this up, in the background, Nira and Leoxla are still chasing the little toaster droid. Can I get one of you to give me a sabers roll to see if you are able to capture the tiny toaster droid?
And one of us roll and one assist?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Lexa,
I
you
got
want to
two
roll?
5s.
2 5s. What is your number?
3.
You were hoping to roll under, so no, it is not a success. And oh no, it goes wrong. The GM says how things get worse somehow. Okay, I've got this. So you all are following this little toaster droid, squeaking its tiny droid
Hold
head
still.
off. And you chase it right into like a dead end corner. And as you turn this dead end corner, there are all of these like Ugnaughts there working on these half scrapped droids of all shapes, sizes, and configurations. There are some gonk droids there. There's what looks like some old decommissioned B1 battle droids. And as you all run into the area where these Ugnaughts are working on the droid, the little mouse droid starts running around in tiny circles and squeaking. And it's a little bit like that moment in the horror movie where they listen for a moment and then all of the eyes turn on you two. What would you like to do?
Run?
Mirror is
I mean,
this advanced droid. Run.
Hey.
Like-
Those... You go. I'm still
Hi.
laughing.
Oh, hi. Bye.
So you two take off running. Give me another sabers roll, both of you, to see if you are able to successfully outdistance the...
Can I try something?
Yes, of course.
So I mentioned Astro Boy before.
Mm-hmm.
That includes rocket boots.
Okay.
So I just want to see if I can, like, give me your hand, like reaching probably up towards the Leoxla.
Okay. Wait, how tall are you?
Yeah, that's
Because I'm pretty short. I'm below average height.
4 something? I forget what I said in the
I
beginning.
think
Just
4'11" was at the
4.
start, somewhere around there, like 4'10", 4'11".
I'm like, I'm only a little bit taller.
Oh, so it could work.
5'3".
Yeah.
Yeah, just kind of like, well, reaching over at least.
Okay, if you want to rocketeer your way out of this, go ahead and give me that sabers roll to see how you do.
Can I squeak my way into a 3, or is that a 2?
It's a 2. I'm trying to figure out if there's a way, if someone would like to help, we could get
Where
you up to
are-
a 3.
Can I help you?
Yo,
Where are we?
I think we've had our tender moment and we've just had complete loss of object permanence, so we don't remember that they exist while this is happening.
Yeah, I'll say, Leoxla, you can help steer, so that would bump it up to a 3d6.
I'm not gonna ask. I'm just not
So
gonna
wait,
ask.
we were following them, and all of a sudden we just see them both coming back at us.
Yeah, like again, like
Potentially.
little like Astro Boy kind of like, well, I guess
I-
Astro them kind
You-
of robot who's probably like
I have an idea for what this like visually kind of looks like to the two of us. I'm imagining it like if you've ever seen films that have like natural disaster sort of elements, where like two people are looking down the corridor, like it's far down, and then they just see the light suddenly getting bigger after they saw their companions going through it, and now they're coming back and they're going like, run, 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 please, it's coming, run, run, time to go. But this is instead of them running, it's just the attempt at Astro Boy rocket propulsion escape.
We still need the roll for it, though. But
Roll.
yes.
Let's see.
6, 5, and 1.
And your number is a 5?
5.
Go ahead and give me that additional d6. You've got 1 success and 1 Senate Sabers.
3.
3.
Oh,
Oh, no.
It's an ambush.
Oh no!
God damn
So-
it.
I think it plays out exactly like Carolina says. You go zipping around the corner after this tiny, adorable looking mouse droids. And yeah, you just see Mira and Liexla rocket theming it past you, going, run! And behind them is a mismatch army of random droids. There's like a little R2 unit with its little zappy thingy out in front. There are the Roger battle
And it's the-
droids.
It's the angriest R2 unit ever.
It's the angriest R2 unit ever.
Okay, you all are imagining you're laughing at this, but I straight up went to like an R2 version of a Tonberry from Final Fantasy because of the little stinger thing. So instead of a chef's knife, it's the little like shock thing. So it's just moving closer, and you're just like everyone suddenly has the little like stress like sweat bead on their heads. Just like
Mhm. There's a couple of little modified mouse droids which appear to have some sort of like cutting tools that are rotating.
Are they
in a-
close? Are they close?
They're coming closer.
Well, Ninja being Ninja is all like strength and speed and whoop and
So you're just
Probably
gonna like Jedi run your way
Yes.
out of there, like Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon in front of the
Yes.
droidicas. Yeah.
yes.
see, I, may I offer a thought for something as I also
Yes.
choose to run away.
Mhm.
Can I just like in a moment of like both simultaneous doubt and like fine, I will try this. I was going to ask real quick, what is the like design of the sewers? Are we thinking like full on like pipes like kind of everywhere, steam exhaust kind of vibe, or is it more like like aqueducts kind of like vibe of just like like rivers of filth in between us with little pathways? What's the kind of like sewer vibe we have?
I'm totally stealing it from Knights of the Old Republic, where it's a lot of humanoid-sized tunnels with lots of exposed ductwork and like random machines sticking out of the wall, and then every now and then you come to a huge room that has these like big mechanical things, and it's kind of hard to figure out what they're doing. Some of them seem to just be stomping a whole lot. Others are kind of flashing with electricity. So that's basically the vibe I've got.
Any chance while I'm running I could attempt to just get it stuck on the down position for one of the stompy things, like let's say it's like coming in front of us so that they'll crash into it, like just try and like reach out and just try and like
Okay,
force
so
it.
how about if Ninja and Carolina together? It's like, and I'm like, you want to do this together?
No, I do not want to do this together, but we have to do this together, so let's do it already.
Yeah, so as these threatening droids come down, go ahead and make the case for me. Do you want to use sabers or Senate for this? Is this a mental thing or a strength or a physical thing?
So for Ninja, the force is a bit more like strength and speed. That's her way that, she'd get in trouble for a little bit of it. So that's her way. So That's her way. I don't know what Carolina's way is, though.
I think Carolina's, to borrow my usual shtick of charisma all the way, it's more like force of will and strength of personality. It's just like, because for her, it's not something that's really been trained. It's just like the only time something's happened, it's been by sheer sense of hoping that like something will change, and reality has just kind of agreed with her for a moment. She's like, thanks, I got lucky, let's go. I'm not going to think of like, she's full, like if I'm treating this sort of as an equivalent of like she's a closeted force user. It's just like, nope, that's not a thing, that it has no relevance to who I am. It's not what I am. It's doesn't at all affect why I do what I do. It's just a thing.
So I think what I'll get you two to do is, Nindra, I'll get a Sabers roll from you, and Carolina, I'll get a Senate roll from you. Just 1d6. We'll split the roll between you.
Okay, so each 1d6.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a 4, so I'm going to want under a 4.
Mm-hmm.
I am.
That's a 2.
Yes.
Got a 2.
1 success.
That is 1 failure on my end.
Okay, so 1 failure. You barely manage it. There isn't a complication, a harm, or a cost. So you manage to bring this big stompy foot down, and it squishes one of the R2 units as it comes down. And it gives kind of a sad beep boop. But you have successfully outpaced the droids. Angela, I'm so sorry. You looked so honestly distressed for a moment there.
No,
okay?
no, I'm just like in my head, I'm like, I'm torn, because in this moment, like, I feel bad as a player. My character is just like, all right, that's good, let's go. My player character is complete indifference and panic. Me as a person, I'm just like, wow, I killed an icon. I should reflect on this for but a moment.
Yeah, so
And
you...
we move on.
So yeah, we need to get out of here. We need to find our way out.
And you folks can still navigate through. You know that this will come up kind of in the sub-basements of the Imperial Senate. There's still the question of how to get from the sub-basement to wherever this Keldor page is at some point.
Yeah, so Mira still has some maps. So we can hopefully get out. I feel like we're just gonna keep stealing the vacuum bots.
Oh, so how much would Nindra know about being inside here and remembering where to go? Now that if they're up out of the and into the closer to the building and such.
I'm going to say, again, once you folks can find your way out into the Senate building pretty fine. And I think once, because Nindra was a Padawan, once you get into the public areas, Nindra can find her way around pretty easily.
Okay.
Mira's just sort of like not sure what to do with the cat hat.
That's truly our most dire hour. The cat hat is in an indeterminate space.
So now it's just getting there.
Mm-hmm.
And also maybe not having everybody call the other droids on us. I don't know that some of us don't necessarily look like we're supposed to be here.
So how much information you gonna allow Nindra to have? It's gonna be
Go wild, hun. Go wild.
So I think she might. I'm going to say that she's she's met Senator Organa, and she might be ashamed that she didn't answer some sort of, like call, or hasn't, because she is from Alderaan, hasn't even tried to, seek aid, kind of has like forsaken Alderaan in a way, and such. If perhaps she can, I don't know, kind of officially somehow make her way through, sort of that, not in the Jedi way, but in the, as a citizen of Alderaan, and somehow like make us look, I can like sort of like not the whole force way we're supposed to be here, but that actual like, let's fake that we're supposed to be here. Like sometimes how you can just like, you walk through something saying, I'm supposed to be here. It's perfectly fine that we're here, sort of maneuver.
Sweet. Yeah, I think you can definitely do that. Y'all would come up through the sub basements. We'll say you make it through there without any detection, and you've managed to find an elevator that will take you up to the public areas. And now it's just like straight ahead and walking to get there.
Yeah, and it's going to be one of those like, don't pause. Let's just go. Because again, Ninja is that strength, speed, focus sort of person.
How does this approach sit with the rest of y'all?
For some reason, Carolina has the phrase diplomatic immunity just repeating on and on in her head, but she's just trying to follow Nindra's call. She's just like keeping the hair tied back, letting the ponytail she normally has fall to cover up the laser blaster scarring on her neck, and just some of the burn marks that are around her shoulders and such. She's doing the like very stiff walk people do when they're like, I am not suspicious whatsoever. I am a normal citizen of this particular region. Everything is fine. There is no war in Passing Thing.
Mira's just gonna look over at Liexla as the two people who probably really don't look like they should be there.
I try to straighten my hair a bit. Dust off my clothing.
Trying to just pull sleeves down and like make sure hair
Ninja's, Ninja's very much force of will.
So go ahead, since everyone else is playing along, go ahead and give a 3d6 roll for this to see how smoothly this goes.
And I'm doing a saber?
This would be Senate. Actually, you did say I'll leave it up to you. Yeah, so if you want to be saber, you can be saber.
Yeah, thank you. Okay. And I'm so I'm a 4, so I want under. Okay, so I got a 5, a 1, and a 1.
So that
2 successes.
is 2 successes. You do it. Yeah, you are fast walking through here. You are navigating these hallways. Every now and then you see people like kind of stop and whatever, it's not worth their time. As you are working your way up towards where that the Alderaanian delegation has their suite of offices, you get a look out the window, and Liexla, you in particular see the most beautiful spaceship in the history of beautiful spaceships. This thing is sleek and pretty, and this is kind of at the point where stuff is starting to go from being that like smooth Queen of Naboo stage to the like Tantive 4 rough made out of connects kind of look. And this is one of those, like, this is a classic spaceship with the beautiful smooth lines and everything, and you can just tell this thing is built for speed, and it seems to be perched, like, not too far from the Alderaanian delegation's offices.
Yeah, I'm slowing down as I'm walking and just staring in awe.
Stare later.
Mira
What?
just Mira just like sees Leoxa slow down and is just kind of like, ah, ooh, shiny.
It's like, Bill, don't go towards the nice, sleek Ferrari car, but I can't help it. It's so powerful. That's all I'm seeing in my head right now. The next 30 minutes is just some variation of that.
Oh gosh, no.
So it sounds like Nindra is going to be the one to kind of poke these two and be like, nope, we keep going this way.
Let's go. Let's go. Look later. Let's go.
Mira's just kind of going to look up at Leoxa and just be like, steal later?
Later.
It's not even words. It's just like a.
All right, so you keep making it up the way, and you make it to just outside the like receiving room for the Alderaan delegation, and push into the public waiting room area that they have. And seated behind the desk is, in fact, a senatorial page. However, it is not a Keldor. This is a young human female, not Leia, unfortunately, named Murfred Talk. And she is dressed in those, like, pretty yellow tunics. And she kind of smiles up at you as you come in and goes, "Hello, Alderaanian citizens. How can we help you today?" Just like overly big smile pasted on her face. She's new to customer service. Give her a couple months.
Wow, I felt the few months I did customer service work just suddenly pour back into my soul, and I hurt for but a few moments.
Same.
Is the senator in?
Can you tell me what it is you might like to discuss? And I'm certain we can find a way to meet your needs.
Poor person.
What is your name?
Oh, I'm Murfred Talk. What's your name?
My name is Nindra.
Nindra. And she's going to write it down on a little piece of paper.
Is the senator in?
The senator is indisposed at the moment, but I'm happy to point you in any direction where you might be able to get some assistance.
I was told a Keldor works here. Do you?
Oh, yes, Jula. Oh, she's great. Oh my gosh, she's... And she's going to turn a little bit pink and get a little bit flustered as she says Jula's name.
Where can we find Jula?
Oh, Jula's on break at the moment, but she'll be back in just a little bit.
Well, I wouldn't want to keep Jula too long, but where does Jula like to take her breaks?
I don't know.
Oh, you know.
Okay, well, sometimes I see her, like, there's the pages cafeteria, but then there's also, like, the senators cafeteria, like, with their assistants, and next to that is the arboretum. And I mean, I guess sometimes Jula, I mean, I've seen her in, it's not like I'm stalking her or anything. It's just that, just
No.
sometimes, you happen to, and like you notice. And anyway, is that who you want to help you? Because she'll be back very soon. I hope.
Well, thank you.
Did you want me to leave your name for the senator?
I do want to see the senator, but we'll see. I understand if he's disimposed. How long do you think he will be? When do you think I could?
Well, the senator currently isn't accepting visitors right now, but he does have Alderaanian open forums that are every third day from the 14th hour to the 18th hour. So if you would like to come back then, I'm sure he would be able to meet with you and help you.
Sure. I'll keep that in mind.
Okay. Is there anything else I can do to help you today?
Not today. Not right now.
Okay.
So Ninja is like, okay, well, we'll do the then like I was like, okay. So let's go to this arboretum. I really don't want to have to force my way into the senator's office. That should be plan G, right?
That should be plan no.
Oh, well, fine. We'll go to the arboretum. Let's find Jula.
But she listed like 3 She listed like 3 places.
Question.
Mm-hmm.
While we were listening to that, did she seem like she was darting her eyes in any particular direction? Or like, I guess my way of saying out of character, out of narrative, was she doing anything similar to like the whole like, oh, don't worry, like we'll be sure to take care of you, and like pressing the button underneath the desk kind of, was she giving off that kind of vibe? Did she feel very sincere when she was saying it?
Nope. And in fact, when Nindra said, would you, yes, I would like to talk to the senator, she started like typing in the computer, and you could see she was kind of looking over a schedule. Like she seemed very, very sincere, if somewhat inexperienced.
Okay, so some more naively over-obsessed super fan vibe as opposed to maliciously hiding the fact that you're about to be taken out and sent over into the re-education area. You will be fine in 10 seconds.
Yeah, she's a sweetie pie who is in over her head.
So basically every nonprofit I've ever worked in. Got it.
Pretty much, yep.
Gotcha. Do we have thoughts on where we want to go first? Do we need to do this quick?
Actually, I think Mira's going to look up at the cameras and then kind of nudge everybody else and like kind of go like this to the cameras, and then kind of the pulling the sleeves up, pointing to the like plug-in transfer that the droids have.
Okay. Let's do that. Where's the nearest port?
So the nearest port, there are public access ports kind of out in little alcoves in the hallway, almost like phone booths at a Capitol building, basically, where you would be able to plug in, and that would not be a place where you would usually get that kind of access, but for the right role, you could definitely get it. Oh, hello, Scorched Dice. Thank you so much for the raid. That is awesome. We are just inside the Imperial Senate trying to get access to Bail Organa and or a Kaldorian page in his employ to try and return a list of people that are suspected of being rebel sympathizers by the Empire.
You came in a moment of intrigue that we're hoping remains more Mission Impossible than Always Sunny in Philadelphia. We're shooting for the first and hoping that the latter will not immediately occur.
Mira's just kind of gonna look at the other three and be like, cover me?
Sure. Can you do this quick? Do this quick.
I just kind of going to like be like, sorry, need to go to the bathrooms, be right back. Just to give like a verbal kind of mild distraction of like, oh, I'm gonna walk over here, and then change direction to like immediately duck into one of the alcoves.
Yeah,
Just hoping that Liexla still has that blaster just in case.
Yeah, folks kind of around here, like, this is an area public has access to. You're not attracting a whole lot of looks yet. And you are basically going to try and hack in to find out, or to get access to the security cameras and scan them to find the Keldor?
Only in the specific areas that she listed, which I don't have memorized, but I think Mira would definitely have the memory capacity to remember all of those places.
Yeah, so that would be a Senate roll, definitely, because I'm going to say this requires intellect. 1d6 for trying, 2d6 because you're a droid. Trying to think if because we've seen you hack stuff so far in the game, so you're definitely like prepared for it.
Yeah, I mean, like, transfer between droid information is pretty easy. They're just like trying to be like, okay, I only want these specific things, and I know how to transfer information. I just need it faster than like
and also
download
this information itself isn't necessarily publicly available, so I'm gonna say it's 2d6 to see if you can get through without any detection.
What number am I trying to roll against?
Over your number. Let me
over my number. Who? So 2 or 3?
It was 2d6.
2d6.
2d6. Okay.
Can I help by causing a distraction?
Sure. What's the distraction?
Oh, no. I want to go into the bathroom and cause like hit the pipe underneath one of the sinks. cause a bit of a flood.
Flooded bathroom.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look at Carolina going, I thought my way wasn't.
Well, you don't necessarily know what Liexla's doing.
We don't know what he's gone in to do. We only know he's just gone in to help by some means. I don't know if Liexla would have told us.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that will get you the third d6, but I have just come up with a new potential downside that I'm putting in my pocket, depending on how this roll goes.
It's 5, 6!
Yeah.
Oh, no. Your number is 5, isn't it?
Yes!
Okay.
I rolled over.
S and a laser Senate.
And it's a Senate.
Senate
Right.
Sabers roll. So
Give
you
me
need to roll
one
one more
more
d6 to
D6.
see what happens.
6?
A bit of your character is revealed.
Oh.
So you pull this off beautifully, but we learn something about Mira as you do so. How does this succeed so beautifully, and what do we learn about Mira?
Well, I think Liexla and everyone else already knows Mira's a droid. it succeeds. I'm having a hard time figuring out. It succeeds really well, but everyone else notices something, but not the people. I guess people might be running to or moving out of the area because of a bathroom problem.
I have a thought for an idea.
Yeah, go for it.
Because you said the core of the backstory that you're suggesting was like a decommissioned like prototype of a specific type of droid model, correct?
Mm-hmm.
What if it's just a very slight malfunction that really only Liexla hears? Because like you said, you've had like issues with the like actual voice, like actual technology letting it go through. What if it malfunctions and it begins speaking some of like the actual like description of your particular make and model, and it's just a moment, but you just sort of short circuit with getting the information so quickly,
Oh,
so that it's just sort of like
oh,
model.
so maybe they just they have to give the make and model to try to get into the computer in the first
Or
place.
it's just something that you don't, because if we're thinking it's something that no one, that you maybe even Mira doesn't pick up on, that it's just like a moment of like you get the info, but it's like sensory overload for a droid, and the result of that is it overloads the voice, and like that's just happens by reflex. It's like when you have like a shock pulse go off, and it just makes the tech in the area go kind of haywire. The haywire in this case is just make and model number, just like DX72535, primordial form of Battletech droid, or something like that. I don't know.
Like recalibrating.
Oh, it's like a star. Oh, it sounds like it's like a startup screen sound. Oh,
I can build off of Carolina's idea if you want.
Mm-hmm.
Which is, yeah, so Mira hooks in and starts getting the information. The computer that you're interfacing with is in that like Republic into Imperial, and so as you are interfacing with it, the computer itself is starting to get suspicious, and you switch from speaking basic that these humans around you would speak, and like as you're interfacing, you're speaking out loud, and go from speaking basic to the like which is me trying to do an impression of the probe droids from The Empire Strikes Back and kind of succeeding at that. And once the computer has let you in, and you see that, in fact, the Keldorian page is in the Arboretum with, in fact, Senator Organa. And Mira kind of comes back into themselves, and they are able to resume speaking basic back to their companions, who have heard this type robot voice for just a moment.
I feel like if they're decommissioned, I feel like Liexla might know the model. Maybe Ninja, because Ninja was around the area prior to, especially since they were a battle droid and the Jedi worked with like the whole droid was versus clone thing, mm-hmm. And Mira's sort of a in between. Just mechanical intelligence, realistic android.
Oh.
So you boot back up, and everyone hears that Mira is not just a name, but each letter stands for something.
Wow.
Yeah, Mira just kind of like fixing cat hat going, now that we should go.
The water of the bathroom just starts filling up from the explosive
there's just everybody has been kind of distracted by all of a sudden droids swarming the bathroom as Liexla is just walking that like doo.
And it's just like, wow, I'm not the only one here who's that's supposed to exist. I'm not supposed to exist. Neither are you. Okay, we're quite the collection of people.
N- n-
It's
what
okay.
just happened?
We'll talk about it later, Mira. Let's go see the senator. Let's go.
Arboretum
Yes.
plans.
Yes.
Pointing, just
Yes.
rapid pointing of. They act very human. It's just their voice modulation that's little off.
So you folks are going to make your way up to the Arboretum. This is off the Senator's cafeteria, so this is no longer on a public level. You can get access to the level, but getting into the Arboretum will either mean talking your way past some people or getting your hands on some sort of access code or busting through a window. You're going to have to find a way in, is what I'm saying. What would you like to do to get access to the Arboretum?
Okay, you don't want to bust a window.
You saying you do want to bust the window, or you don't?
Are there vents?
There are vents. It's an Arboretum. They're going to
There
need
are almost
air exchange.
always vents. Do we get to do a vent montage?
If that's what y'all want to do, you can crawl through some vents and drop down into the Arboretum.
I mean, I'm for vents. I might be able to like unscrew the metal screw bits
What do the
without
rest?
without ripping off the vent.
What do the rest of y'all think about this idea?
Yeah,
See-
sure, why not?
Okay.
Could we all fit in the vents, or is it just Mira?
Oh, I thought we were all doing the little vent thing.
I think you can all crawl through the vents if you want to. What I would get you all to do is I would get you all to roll a sabers roll of 2d6 to see if all of you make it through, if someone gets stuck, whatever.
Sabers.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody sabers. Oh boy.
4.
That is that's one success.
I got a 2 and a 4, and I'm a 4.
Go ahead and give me another d6, Nindra.
I am 5 and I got 4 and 1.
So that's 2 successes there.
I got 1, which means something breaks.
Something break. Oh, that's perfect.
Wait, what did the X-Leg get? What did the X-Leg get?
Yep.
I got 2 and a 4.
What was your number?
3.
Okay, so that's also 1 success. So I'm going to say, Mira, yep, you can scoot right through these vents. No problem. You drop down into the Arboretum where Senator Organa and the page, Jula, are talking. Startling the crap out of both of them, by the way. They turn around and they're like, fake ninja moves at you and stuff. And Nindra is the next in line and is kind of army crawling her way through. And all of a sudden, the plate underneath her front gives way. And you are, as Mira is in the Arboretum, you are suddenly dangling over a vertical shaft that goes all the way down to the bottom of the Senate building, which is a lot. And Leaxa and Carolina, who are behind you, it's up to you two to figure out how to prevent Nindra from falling and get through to the Arboretum.
I'd just like to note, I have never seen, and all the times I have played with Michelle, her eyes go that wide over her statement before.
May I try to do one of those force things?
Yeah, totally. What would you like to try to do?
Well, you know how like they force lift themselves up and are able to do that sort of deal. Like I don't fall. I force my, use the force to save my butt and make sure everybody else gets to safety. I mean, is that?
Yeah, that's good. I'm going to say this is another sabers roll. So you would get 2d6 for that plus an extra d6 for the force roll.
please don't roll your exact number. We can't deal with any more complications at this point.
Well, it's a 3, a 2, and a 2.
Brilliant.
So, yes.
So you succeed, and the force is with you since that last one is a 2. So how amazing does this look as you do this?
Oh, I feel it fall, and then I'm just like, no. And the force, not only does like the force like save me, but I get out of the vent and I do one of those like beautiful Anakin Obi-Wan like landing things. It's pure Jedi, and not a superhero landing. No.
Not a
It's a
3-point
Jedi landing.
Yes.
It's easier on the knees.
Yes, it's a yes.
Liexla and Carolina, do you have any response to seeing this?
Stunned again.
Okay. We got it in real time there.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think both of our faces accurately portrayed what our characters were experiencing in that moment.
So I'm going to say that puts you about 30 seconds behind Mira in terms of like finishing your army crawl through the vents and being able to drop down into the Arboretum. Mira, you are now facing a Keldor page and Senator Bail Organa, and they look very surprised to see you there. And in fact, Senator Organa pulls a small holdout blaster from his tunic and points it at you.
I say, I'm sure there's Alderaan. Do Alderaan speak just basic, or do they actually have their own language? I don't know. Okay, I'm going to say that they do.
Basic.
Okay, whatever.
They
I'm going to, do an Alderanian, or what and everything to let the senator know, and then I'm going to, actually, I've probably been wearing something this whole time. Obviously not like the Jedi thing or something, but like maybe like some sort of like hat or wig or something to where I'm able to like take off the shades or something and like sort of like go, sir, it's me.
Nindra Volero?
Yes, sir.
I can't believe you survived. And he's going to come over and just like, boom, big hug. Blaster forgotten. Mira forgotten.
Mira's more like looking up to where the other two are. Like, wait, what?
There are 2 more with me, sir. So please do not be surprised.
uh,
I don't know how they're gonna get down.
that's a question. How do you two get down?
Well, I said that I was hope that in my whole beautiful force thing, I was able to also help them across too.
I don't
Somehow,
feel like if you're
to make
getting
sure.
the beautiful singular person landing, it's going to
Yeah.
apply to both of us. I don't think that's fair. Plus, just from a player standpoint, I think it would be more hilarious if a complication occurs for both of us trying to get down at this point.
Yeah.
That's me.
Yeah, it's an arboretum. The ceiling is tree height. So
Is there anyone else around?
no, it's just the 2 of them and now 2 of you and 2 more in the vents.
Can I try to do the like Astro Boy thing again, except maybe not fail this time?
Let's give Liexla and Carolina a chance to come up with something first. If not, then I'd say yes, definitely.
Is there a branch near the opening of the vent?
It would take a little bit of a like good reach, but yes, you could potentially get onto a branch of one of the trees.
Okay, I want to do that.
Sweet. Give me, this will be a sabers roll. And we'll say it's a 2d6 because you're a street racer, so you're pretty tough and you've got a head for heights.
2 and a 4.
And your number is 4?
3.
3. Okay, so 1 success. So you barely manage it. I'm gonna say, yeah, you get onto the branch, but what goes wrong after that, actually? If you have a complication, let's hear that.
It is not graceful.
I guess the the branch is starting to splinter a little bit.
Yeah, you're hanging off. The branch is cracking, and you have to drop very suddenly and kind of land on your butt instead of a nice graceful drop to the ground. The trees, I'm stealing a reference from the extended universe here. There are these beautiful trees that absorb sound waves. And so as the branch itself cracks, you see the tree kind of spike in red that then ripples out through the tree and out to its neighbors. And when you fall on your bum, because that's a little bit deeper noise, it kind of has a purple ripple that goes out as well. This kind of beautiful symphony of sound going on.
That's cool.
I have a thought.
Mm-hmm.
I think she will just mutter to herself, like just very quietly under her breath. Well, nothing else can fucking happen today, so might as well give this a shot. And you just hear just very softly just start like humming something that she used to hear when she was a kid. And she used to hear in stories about the Jedi and such, about the teachings and like what some of the older folks used to pass down. It was probably like a old thing that like very hardly anyone ever used to do, because it's like, why would you add hymns to all of this? We have so much decorum. Why would you add a hymn or anything? But some folks just like, they like the element of it, and she's just going to try and force push her way. She's going to like leap off and just trying to like steady herself and land using the force. She's just by pure will of faith going to try and ask the force to help her not crack her back trying to slide down this thing.
Cool. Give me a 2d6 Senate roll with an extra d6 for the force.
Okay, so the 2d6 rainbow and this one, and you know what? I'm going to use my Tales from the Mist dice because they have never failed me, like literally ever. And it was Senate.
Mm-hmm. Because you mentioned this being like a force of will type of thing.
Okay,
right?
so I wanted to roll over my numbers, so that's 2 failures. However, there's no success. However, in a clutch moment, I was correct. The Tales from the Mist dice is a 6, so that's even on the force roll.
So how does the force save your bacon on this?
I like to think like she tries to just by pure will of strength, like pure will of faith, tries to leap for the branch and just try. Like I think her initial thought, it's like rewind. Instead of just trying to like land and drop down, she maybe to reach the branch, she just tries to force herself to go over, but it just doesn't work, and she just barely misses it because she's just stressed and clumsy and is slipping and about to fall, and she just like puts her hands down and it's about to go very badly, and then she's like waiting for the fall and it doesn't happen, and she opens her eyes and she's like fine on the ground.
She like floats down, kind of Iron Man flying her way down.
Yeah, or like it, the fall just happened, but it just she didn't see it. Like her eyes were closed, and she was like, "Well, this is what my life has always been. This is what it will always be. Terrible." It just floats down like I should never have believed in myself or any of this. It will never go fine. And then like she lands and she's like expecting the fall, and for anyone else, it was just like, and she's just there, and then she opens her eyes and is like, "This doesn't count."
Senator Organa looks impressed.
You're running over to help Lexa up.
So the Keldor and the Senator are there. The Senator has just released you, Nendra. They're both looking at you. You've got a few minutes of time before they decide maybe this is legit, maybe this isn't.
I pull out the data crystal. Sir, this has a list of names. Compromised by the rebellion, could be compromised. Your name is on there, Mon Mothma.
Senator Organa goes absolutely white when you say this. And it's actually the Keldor page who steps forward and holds out her hand for the data crystal.
Ninja's going to look at the senator.
He's going to look down at the page and kind of put a hand on her shoulder, and she'll step back and he'll reach his hand out to take the data crystal.
I'll give it to the senator.
And he'll turn and look at the Keldor and say, things are moving faster. He's not Kiwi. Things are moving faster than we've anticipated. And he's going to turn and look up at you and go, thank you, my friends. Did anyone see you on the way here?
At that point, Mira's just going to be like, just go into the still probably stuck from earlier listing cameras number 432.8, 839.01 to a lot.
There was also a bounty hunter.
The two are going to exchange a significant look and say, it may not be safe for you on Coruscant anymore. But
no,
we may be able to make use of you in our organization if that's something that you would be interested in.
Just kind of looking at Lex like, is there any way we can just get out of this and steal this ship now?
Well, we have an ace pilot, a very unique. Well, Mira is Mira, and Doctor, and me. I'm willing, if the other three are.
An ace pilot, you said. And Senator Organa is going to smile a little bit, and he's going to look over to the window, and he's going to say, those four right there, you can take your pick. It unfortunately does not include the super badass one from earlier.
Oh, no. No.
But there is like a beginner's X-Wing, beginner A-Wing. There's a nice Corellian freighter there. There's a fourth ship of your choice there.
I think I'll take the freighter.
The senator takes out the keys. Oh,
Probably more like a key card kind of slot.
How do you start a spaceship? I don't know. And hands them over to you and says, she may not look like much, but she's got it where it counts.
Thank you, sir. Will you still be safe here?
For a while. So, if you all are willing, meet us on Yavin 4. We've got plans for what's happening. And as he starts saying Yavin 4, the page reaches out and like grabs him. And he nods and like writes Yavin 4 on a piece of paper and the coordinates and some code phrases and hands it to you.
Mira just kind of looks at it, does a little scan eye thing, and then goes, can I see that?
I'm not sure I know who's supposed to respond to that one, to be honest.
Who did the senator give the paper to?
Probably me.
Let's say Nindra, just because the two of them have the longest history.
Yeah, then can...
Yeah. Yeah, Ninja would allow Mira to see it.
Yeah, like do the... At this point, it's visible. They're just doing the little droid scan of the paper and just being like, we don't need that anymore.
I would like to just devote a quick second to a comment in the chat saying, "Hey, kids want to rebel against the Empire."
Yes.
Yes, we do.
I mean, yes. I think Carolina and Emma will just ask the senator directly. Well, actually, we'll ask both of them. Do you need anyone on here to keep you in the loop about what's happening in the spots a lot of y'all don't seem to care about?
I think the senator is going to look very hard at you and Carolina and say, there's a lot of hurt happening all over the galaxy. I would like to help as many people as I can, wherever they may be, and that includes here.
If you need me to stick around here, I'll stay here. I can keep you involved if you're willing to deal with someone of a less than scrupulous character.
Senator Organa is actually going to laugh at that and say, according to this crystal, I'm one of those myself.
Sure, we're definitely of the same. Like, we'll look the senator up and down, and like she'll like pull back some of the sleeves, and you'll see that it's like she's got burns and like cuts in various spots and stuff, and there's probably still like dried blood on some aspects of it. Sure, we're definitely of the same cloth.
Mira's just gonna look up and be like, "You're staying here?"
I leave it up to y'all, to all of you. If the senator wants me here for this, someone's got to do something practical for around here.
My cover's blown, so I can't stay. But Carolina, I hope to see you again soon.
If this were the start of this day and you were saying that, it just said, yeah, great, sure, never mind. But no, I hope to see you too. Hopefully alive or not dying, and I don't have to patch you up.
Little droid's just gonna run over and hug Carolina. Just kind of be like, well, I don't know exactly that a me is that hard to find. I mean, the looking up at the cameras and going, they know that I visited.
Well, even if they know that I'm here, I'm nobody. The benefit of being a nobody is that no one cares if you go or not. Don't worry. Things should be fine. Plus, one of you seemed to have benefited really well from all of this, and is just looking over somewhat enviously at the rides that Liexla is like getting a chance to pick from, and just like, come back quick if you don't mind. I kind of want to be on one of those.
Well, we could have used you as the ship's doctor, but
I mean, if you
take care of yourself.
I mean, if you really want me to go, I'm not gonna say no.
Of course we want you to go. Of course we want you to come with us.
You can tell she's like trying her best to deflect, like, no, she's gonna be needed here, like, oh, that's better, but probably Ninja would pick up the most. That like she probably actually wants to go with the group, and she's just trying to look for the excuse of the senator to like be like, no, if you stay here, like, we'll have you available. Like in her mind, she's just already convinced of what this is supposed to be. Like, she's not anybody. she's not important. So let her just do a thing where she gets to, if she dies, no one's gonna think about her.
Yeah, no, the little like prototype droid is just kind of taking the hat off and giving you puppy eyes. As puppy eyes as a droid can. Probably has like little fake eyes in the little slots actually.
I'm imagining the little like glass like frames around the actual like orbs that form the eye socket sort of like units. They're just blinking at different speeds and they're just like big eyed the whole time.
I'm happy to leave this up to the party to resolve whether or not Carolina
Whatever
comes with.
whatever is the most popular inspirational song at this time, I'm gonna start like singing it, and then have and the trees will start reacting. You know.
Yeah, she'll come with the group in that case.
It's like Ninja's gonna be like, Carolina. I mean, I wanted to bust through the window, and I think Mira needs you just as much as I do to stop me from busting through the window.
All right. So I'm imagining the little droid gives a little excited yelp and a hug, and I'm just like, "That's Mira. That's you're actually quite strong. Please."
Sorry. Like dusting off and just kind of like taking the hat and putting it back on because they've probably lost the wig in like jet propelling themselves down the hallway. Just barely caught the hat.
We need you, Carolina. I need you. I hope that's enough.
All right. Let's get to work in that case.
Field trip!
The senator escorts you out to the pad where the ship is. Liexla, how awesome is it to be at the controls of this ship leaving Coruscant?
Pretty awesome. It's like
And of course, before she goes, she looks at the senator and is like, Senator, may the force be with you.
And the senator replies, the force will be with you always.
And I have one last thought for Image to close out. Just when we're on the ship and we're out, just one more.
And then I'm gonna do a Jago style cliffhanger.
Yes, I love that.
Okay.
This might help with that actually.
Sorry, Michelle.
I think if we're already on the ship, if this will not intercede in the cliffhanger for us to be getting on the ship.
Nope.
Well,
totally
this is happening, okay. And we're about to. If we haven't taken off yet, I think Carolina will pull out from like, among all of the things that are like on like a belt of like all the gauzes and like she's a walking med kit is the description I gave for her. Like there's a bigger pouch on the side that like you see her like pull out like a little like key card from somewhere else and she taps it on the side and she like scratches the edge of her thumb so that there's almost like a little blood mark that also acts as a secondary like unlocking for it. And she pulls out faint bits of like shards of crystal and like scraps of the components to the handle. And she's like, never known what to do with this. Any thoughts?
Nice.
I figure that's a nice way that it still speaks to that. She didn't have it to actually use, but it's a thing she got to try out. That's why she didn't use it. It doesn't work.
I think we wrap up with Carolina and Nindra looking down at these components, feeling very optimistic about the future and what they're able to accomplish in this galaxy. All of you, as you're able to put your strengths to use to hopefully make some change in a galaxy that seems to be drowning in darkness. And we pan back down towards Coruscant, back into that arboretum, where those beautiful trees are reacting to all of the sounds around them. A few more people are walking through. Their conversations send up beautiful teal and turquoise lights reflecting among, or shimmering among the leaves. We go into the trees themselves, down into the roots beneath the earth that has been brought down into Coruscant, and entwined with these roots, we see electrical wires of some kind of device reading the patterns of vibration that the trees are responding to. And we follow these wires down through the depths of the Imperial Senate building, out of the building back to the Imperial Palace, where a row of people in gray uniforms sit in front of terminals, reading and logging every single conversation. Credits.
Ah.
Jago does it to us every game, and it's like the most excruciating thing.
Hey, you know that happiness you wanted? How about we just take rain? Just take a rain cloud. Here's your parade. Here's a rain cloud just for all of you.
Oh,
But we got the good ship.
You got the
Yes.
good
You got the
shit.
ship.
and we got Carolina to come with us.
Mm-hmm.
She thinks she's useless. She's basically a bunch of the rejects who never actually got to be on the council and then or get involved in any of the training. So it's just like, oh, they're not going to care about me. Who the fuck
And
cares?
Ninja's a little like, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I understand no Jedi or no way of the Force, but what about way of the Force?
And we will leave it there, and we can always talk a little bit more off screen, come up with more epilogues before we finish for the night. A huge thank you to Anino, thank you for popping in, and of course to Scorch Dice for the raid in our second half. Before we go for this evening, I'll let the players go round and we'll do reverse order of what we started with, if I can remember that. And say who you are, where we can find you online, all of that good stuff. So we will start with Phoenix.
Oh, hello there. That's me. I'm the charismatic one who vamps all the time because people require it and need it, and I do that well. Hi, I'm Phoenix in a lot of gaming spaces, otherwise known as Angela, in my real world life, which is also this life at times. My gaming world and real world life are overlapping quite a lot. You can find me in various places. You can find me on Twitter at Phoenix24Fem, where I share and reboot like BIMPOC, TTRPG stuff all the time, and also trans and queer related feels, lusting, artwork, all of those things. That's just my vibe. My brand is just queer trans feels and gaming stuff. You can find me on the Queerly Yours podcast, which is a podcast done by my partner and I. We're both trans people. We're an interracial couple and also polyamorous. So we talk about a lot of the various things that have come up, even when we were long distance. And then after living together now for, I think, a bit over a year, we're getting to that point. I've lost track of time. COVID time is weird. It's weird. Pandemic time is weird. You can find me on Sundays running a Numenera system, in the Numenera system in a homebrew world known as Aerovin, where my players enter a temple and don't even go into the first room because they fall down into the caverns below. I built so many things in that temple and they didn't go into any of them. And that's how you know you're playing a TRPG. And you can find me on Mondays earlier in the day, 1 p.m. EST, playing in Ryutama, where I play an old spring magic herbologist lady who just apparently gives his insight to everyone and brings happiness and feels. So yeah, that's all that. And if I'm also someone who does music commissions for folks for TTRPG campaigns and websites. So if you're ever interested in getting mainly acoustic-based works, I do good shit on that front. And I'm also a poet and professional writer. I do a lot of things. I don't understand until I say them all, but I have to remember them all. That's me.
Thank you, Angela. Ting, where can we find you online?
I'm Ting, and you can find me hang out in the Welcome to the Party Discord. And on Twitter, I'm at the Ting1000. And I sometimes play in one shots on this channel.
Thanks. Thank you. Glim.
Hi. I am Glim. As for being trans and feels, I have no idea what name. So just Glim for now. I am at Glimmeron Art, GLIMERONART on Twitter. And you can find me almost anywhere online under that moniker. I take commissions at gmail.com, same thing. And I play side quests with Welcome to the Party decently often, at least for right now. And I also am going to be doing a one-shot over with Dice Priory, also Dice Priory on Twitter, next Saturday, I believe 4:30 EST. There's a time difference, so check out Dice Priory on Twitter for that. And yeah, that is me done.
Thank you, Glim. And Michelle.
Hi, I'm Michelle Ely. I'm at Michelle Ely on Twitter, or you can find me on our Discord, which is full of wonderful people and all the gay feelings that you want. It's beautiful. On Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern, I'm on the Welcome to the Party channel's Rifts game where I play Jovra. This Wednesday, you can find me 7 p.m. Eastern on the Guardia channel where I play Zenbrix, an elf halfling Rogue who really wants to be a ranger so much. And then Saturdays at 8 p.m. Eastern, I play Darcy on the Bobo Gumshoe Waverly 98 game, which is also on Welcome to the Party, where we are finding out what's happening with Ghost. So come on by, watch us for nostalgia, mystery, and feels on Saturdays. So that's me.
And I am Ulfrig. Thank you, Michelle, by the way. I can be found mostly on the Welcome to the Party Discord because I rolled a very high stealth check on other parts of the internet. I can be found on Thursdays engaging in more Star Wars geekery with the Hyperdrive crew, and Jago, who has the world's most excruciating cliffhangers, is our GM, starting at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. And on Saturday, also at 6 p.m., 9 p.m., I'm over on Story Girls podcast doing the other Star franchise, Star Trek Adventures, where I play a genderqueer telepathic cinnamon roll, and it's adorable. That's what we have for tonight. A big reminder, if you can, before we raid, to check chat. We've got details about where you can find our Discord, our Patreon, and of course, beautiful sponsor information. And we are going to go ahead and, since we are over for the evening, raid Devil's Luck Gaming, who are playing The Expanse, because let's keep this good sci-fi tabletop RPG action happening. Thank you all very much for joining us. And until the next time, may the Force be with you.